Greetings here in the Beat Sessions. I'm your host, Mitchell Weary. It's Friday, April 2nd, another weekly celebration of all new things music in the world. And we're going to start it off with Demi Lovato and her brand new record, Dancing with the Devil, The Art of Starting Over. This is Demi's seventh record. It is her first since 2017's Tell Me You Love Me. And I just want to start this review off by saying not only is it good to have Demi back making music, but I think I speak for everyone on my channel when I say that it's nice to see you on the road to recovery. For those of you who have directly dealt with drug addiction or any type of addiction for that matter, or have loved someone who's experienced it, you know that addiction it's something that a person will deal with for the remainder of their life. It's not just something that you solve after a few weeks of rehab. And this record, very autobiographical, very much a part of that recovery process for Demi, very cathartic, and you can feel the catharsis in a lot of the lyrics that she's belting out on this record. Some of you as fans with similar experiences may feel the catharsis as well, and if so, fantastic. Some of you might be at a point where you don't want to go down the rabbit hole. You've left it behind and you're done and you've moved your life in a new direction and there's no reason to even think about that stuff anymore. And if that's the case, then more power to you as well. You might honestly want to stay away from this record a little bit. But to get directly into it, it's, again, incredibly autobiographical. Two parts conceptually that she's dividing it into. First part, Dancing with the Devil, consists of 3 songs. The opener, Anyone, is incredible. It floored me. I had to stop it and just let it set in for about 10 minutes and then restart it when I listened to this record. The ballad is territory that she's familiar with, but given the vulnerability of the lyrics and the strength of her voice, which I think is just an incredible, it's just the dynamic that's going on there is remarkable. And the strength and the power of the song really sets the mood for, the extreme nature of what she went through for the better part of a decade and the suffering that she endured. And it's hard not to feel so bad for her and for people like her, like Britney Spears and all these poor young women that frankly just exploited for their entire young lives and didn't get to grow up with any type of normalcy. Second song, Dancing with the Devil, pretty much the lead single off the record, I think, which makes sense. You convey that vulnerability and that desperation. Obviously, Dancing with the Devil is about the move to the drug use. Third track, ICU, which is spelled out with the letters. It's a great double entendre, honestly. Obviously, intensive care unit where she ended up after the drug overdose, but it's also about her experience waking up and her sister being there and her actually not being able to see her sister, and that being the moment where she realized like I need to fix this. Not only am I just lucky to be here, but there's people that care about me, and I need to make moves. I need to start taking the right steps to fix my life. And so the song, fourth song, oddly enough, on the album is called Intro. It's where the album segues into the learning to start over part, or the art of starting over, I should say, forgive me. And that is the basically the lead song into the second portion of the record. Great. I love the 70s SoCal rock feel of that song and a couple of other tracks on this record. Musically, she's all over the place, which it's fantastic the way that she's moving around in genres. I will say, I'll get to it in a moment, but my criticism is that the record is a little too long, and that in the way that she moves in and out of genres, she could have easily condensed this record and made it a more cohesive package. But we will get to that in just a moment. The song "Lonely People," upbeat but bleak lyrics, and it kind of sets the tone a little bit for this record. Obviously, she is a pop artist. Think of Foster the People and Pumped Up Kicks, that kind of upbeat music with the dark content, and that's very much a healthy way, I feel like, for her to deal with the content of the lyrics and just with the experience herself. I really like the feel of that. I will say my favorite song, as far as just the hook in the music, is What Other People Say. Definitely the best hook on the record. I think that's another thing that this album lacks a little bit too, is despite her soaring voice and the amazing melodies, there's just the hooks aren't necessarily quite there. But What Other People Say, phenomenal song that she did with Sam Fisher. And then I really like the song Melon Cake, which it's a perfect example of her sense of humor in dealing with the heaviness of all this content, and I think it's very normal for us to look at dark, depressing things and approach them with comedy. It's something that's very common. We all do. And so Melon Cake, while the title seems fairly innocuous, is about actually how she ate watermelon with whipped cream as birthday cake for years because all these psychotic people around her were trying to, keep her from eating and keep her thin. And it's just like, I feel so bad for her. Artists like Britney Spears, just these poor young women that just exploited their whole young lives. It's so sad. Ariana Grande makes a feature on this record as well, some other guest appearances. That's, as the album moves towards the back half of it, though, that's where my criticisms start to come in a little bit. There's a song, Carefully, which, great pop song. Again, it has that like SoCal, LA, 70s rock style, kind of like Fleetwood Mac feel to it. But it wasn't written by her. The song Butterfly was not written by her as well. They seem out of place in an album that is very autobiographical. My girlfriends are my boyfriends, and the kind of lover I am. Lyrically, it's hard to describe, but I think given the content, given that even Demi described this record as being sort of the soundtrack to the documentary, these songs feel like they would have been better served on a separate EP, along with a couple of those other love songs that she didn't write. There's a cover of Mad World by Tears for Fears. She takes the Gary Jules approach to it, which was made popular in the film Donnie Darko. I think that it would be great for her to just have saved it for live shows. Pleasant little treat for all the fans. Because again, the lyrics and the content of the song certainly go along with the rest of the record as a whole. But it's just, she's not covering any new ground with the song. It very much is just channeling the Gary Jules cover. And with a runtime of 57 minutes and 19 songs, I think this album really could have just benefited from 4 or 5 of these songs being removed. I think it would have made this record an overall more cohesive effort, especially because the concept, the two halves, the duality there are very much a part of what's at the core of this record. So while there's so much good music on this, and while there's a lot of stuff that's going on that I absolutely love, and again, the first half of the record, phenomenal. If you're going to listen to any of this, you should definitely at least listen to that. But I am going to take a pass on the vinyl on this. That runtime too, it's going to be a guaranteed 2 final package. Every record only holds 44 minutes of runtime, so it's probably going to be a little on the pricier side. That's something to factor in there as well as far as buying the vinyl. But what I will say is that Demi, I'm happy for you to just make the record that you want to make. Honestly, after all that you've been through and the amazing road to recovery that you've had in the last few years, I welcome back. Good for you for putting out this record, and there's a lot of good stuff on here that I really enjoyed, and I'm looking forward to more stuff from you in the future, as I think all of your fans and all of the members of this channel are. I hope you find this review helpful. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, tune in to Sunday nights to the live show, and we will see you next time on The Beat Session.